Hi everybody, I'm Michaela Werner. I'm a senior here at Oklahoma City University. I'm majoring in exercise physiology with a minor in psychology. So just to give you a little bit of background, I decided to do my scientific methods semester project over how the pyramids were built, because a lot of people believe, or some people believe, that that the technology was not there yet to build the pyramids. Like, it just wasn't humanly possible, so who else could have built the pyramids? Well, they kind of think that the aliens did. And there actually is some, good theories behind it. We're going to get to that in a little bit. So I just kind of wanted to introduce myself and, kind of give you an idea of what we're going to be talking about today. And I'm sorry, forgive me if I stutter a little bit. When I decided to do this project, I wanted to do a video because it's kind of out of my comfort zone. So I'm sorry if I mess up. This is like my 5th time trying to start this video. So my goal is to keep it going this time. Okay, so according to outerworld.com, the pyramids were built over 4,000 years ago. That's a really long time. So technology at the time was obviously very, very obsolete compared to what we have today, the type of tools we have today. We have, motors and, cranes, and we can lift heavy materials without even like worrying about it. But, 4,000 years ago, they didn't have, that. They didn't have, huge machines that could do the manpower. It was actually men who had to lift all these heavy objects. Now the Egyptians, they did have like 500,000 slaves, so that I'm sure assisted in building the pyramids, but we'll also get to that later. So, as I said, the theory is that they were unable to build the pyramids because the technology was not there. There's no way that they could have, in whatever form, built the pyramids the way that, they're shaped. And the theory also claims that, so the pyramids were actually before the Egyptians were even there. So the pyramids were built beforehand. So the theory goes that the aliens were actually confused with gods, and so that's why the pharaohs and Egyptians worshipped God, several different gods, was because they confused them with the aliens. And the theory also says that the pyramids are almost directly lined up with the magnetic North Pole. I mean, we're talking like a couple degrees difference. So they're, right in a straight line. Well, there's no way that the Egyptians could have known that. So how their way could have been, seen was aliens flying over and seeing that they wanted it to line up that way. So, I mean, that's just kind of the background and kind of the ideas behind it. And, I don't think that it's that far-fetched. I actually think that it's a cool theory. And, I know a bunch of other cultures, believe in aliens and, that type of thing. So, and the same thing, this is going to get off topic a little bit, but same with mermaids. I mean, there's cultures all around the world that talk about mermaids and its culture and its history and, paintings and, artwork. And I mean, we don't really know, so we'll see. So looking at some of the facts. So according to a video that I saw, it was really cool. It was called Egypt's Great Pyramid, The New Evidence. This video, it wasn't very long, it was about 5 minutes, but it was really good, compact video about how they believe that how real evidence has supported by archaeologists and researchers how the pyramids were built. So just to give you a little bit of background, the pyramids were built as tombs for pharaohs. So a god king named, I'm going to murder this name, so please excuse me, Khufu, in order construction over 4,000 years ago as a giant fortress to keep his corpse safe for eternity. This was the Pyramid of Giza. It's a very famous pyramid. I think it's also known as the Great Pyramid. So the way that real archaeologists and real researchers have determined that this this is how they actually built it. And another thing is they were confused on how the stones are heavy. I mean, you're talking like 10 tons per block. How in the world could, humans move something like that? Well, they actually built special boats because the stones actually came from a different location. That was the other thing too. Well, how did they move those stones from, 100 miles away? That's just physically impossible for for humans at the time. Well, they built these special boats to go up the Nile, and they had specially trained sailors that it even talks about in the research archives of the Egyptians that they had specially trained sailors and movers to move these stones. And then once they got it onto the shore where the pyramids was being built, they had these special sleds that they even in this video, they even like recreated this whole thing. And it's doable. It's hard work, but it's doable. And it showed, the whole process of how they would have done it. And, they had these giant sleds. And it even said, they were saying that, once you got going, it actually wasn't that hard. It was just getting the stones, sled. So you're talking about, you're pulling a sled across the desert of a 10-town block, but you also have, probably 20, 30 men, pushing and pulling. So they did say that it did get easier as you got moving. And that's just kind of, how that works. And just to kind of go into the planning of the pyramids, and this is how they all know this, is, so according to livescience.com, so pharaohs, when building their pyramids, which was where they were going to rest whenever they died, pharaohs would appoint high-ranking officials to oversee the construction of the pyramid. And, you could just imagine how long this construction would take. It would probably take years and years to build something like this. So a pharaoh, pretty much as soon as he gets into power, he says, okay, start building my, building my tomb, so that I have a place to, go whenever I die. And so, it takes years to do this. So in 2010, a team of archaeologists discovered I'm going to murder this word again, so I'm sorry, papyri. It's pretty much just an archive of all the specifics of what they did to construct and plan this pyramid. And it dated back to the reign of Khufu, the pharaoh for the Great Pyramid that I was talking about earlier, and the construction of the pyramid. So this was, like I said, detailed construction of the pyramid, how it was going to be built, when it was going to be built, and how long it was going to take. And not only the pyramid, the pyramid wasn't the only part of it. They had, boat slips, they had temples, they had even cemeteries for all their, I guess, dying slaves that they had, so, it's sad, and it's sad how that all of it's probably built. But it's very interesting because it's amazing what humans can do whenever they put their mind to it. And so just to kind of go back to just this class and, go back into with the book and how we would, go about learning this and go about observing this. So I kind of think about just the scientific method in general. You have these conspiracy theories of, aliens, and I don't think that it's not impossible, because the universe is huge, and who am I to say that there isn't life elsewhere? And also, I was not around 4,000 years ago. I wasn't around 12,000 years ago. So I don't think that it's incredibly wrong to say that it's not possible, but I do think it may be a little bit out there, just based on what previous research has shown, what previous experts and archaeologists have found, is that there is real evidence stating that the pyramids were built by humans and the pharaohs assigned it and therefore, oversaw the construction of it, not aliens. So like I said, just to kind of go back to how we would go back through kind of the scientific method and making our own observations and our own, hypothesis on this whole scenario, I would have to say that just based on previous research and previous observations of, experts that have spent, years doing this, multiple experts, multiple articles, multiple TV shows, that this evidence would show that the pyramids were built by humans and not aliens. So this was my video. This was my, semester project. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. I'm already rocking my Rudolph sweater. So I hope you guys have a great day. All right, bye-bye.